Hi, I'm David from londonsafes.co.uk. Please subscribe. There's a button on the right hand corner if you find this interesting. Thank you. You may have come across this video from another video that we did recently called Best Safe for Home, where we talk about this Bloomsbury range of safes that we have. I'll link to that now in the top right hand corner. But in this particular video, we're going to be focusing on the smallest safe, the size 1. But it's useful that I've got the other sizes here, so during this video we can just make comparisons if necessary. Okay, so this is the Bloomsbury 40K size 1 digital safe, what we call a hybrid safe because it's digitally operated with a battery operated keypad but also has keys. It's sitting on top of the largest of the 4, the size 4, so you can get an idea, and then we have the size 2 which is sitting on top of the size 3. So size-wise, the external dimensions of the size 1, it's 220 millimeters high, 350 millimeters wide, and it has a depth of 300 millimeters. Here it is from the side view, so you can get a sense of the scale of it compared to the other 3 sizes. So all the Bloomsbury range are a solid steel construction, as you can see, beautifully finished, where all the welds are ground off and made into this kind of curved edge, and the door is one slab of 10mm steel that's cut with a robot in order to make this door aperture. And the roboticized laser, the effect is that the gap is so tiny that trying to bang something in the gap like a screwdriver or a crowbar is impossible. You can't actually get it in to try and prise the door open. So that's one of the advantages that we talk about in that other video. To open the safe, the default code is 6 ones, which I've dialed in now. I press E and the OK light will come on. You heard that little click. You have a limited time to turn the knob. Once you've turned it, the safe is effectively open. That light will now go out. And you can see that 10mm door, as I was referring to earlier on. You can also see the bolt work. That if I turn the knob, that's actually operating the bolt, those 2 bolts that come out there. And those 2 bolts lock into this receiver plate here, which is welded to the structure of the safe, which if someone's trying to smash the safe with a hammer, this is preventing it from the door from bending into the safe, which is one way that they try to open. So that technique wouldn't work on this safe. And another reason is that this rebate that the door sits against is all welded and solid. Very difficult to try and smash that door open. In the other video, I talk about the importance of having multiple fixing holes and us being able to bolt the safe in as rigidly and as robustly as possible. And all the other 3 sizes have 4 fixing holes in the back of the safe where we can bolt it to the wall with 4 bolts, and they additionally have 4 in the base to fix it to the ground or to a shelf or whatever we're able to fix it to. The exception is the size 1. Because it's just physically too small to do that, to get any tools in to do it up. So it's still better than most because it's got 2 on the back, as you can see there above the removable shelf, by the way, and there's 2 under that carpet, it's also removable. So there's 4 fixing holes on this unit. So let's just talk about the internal dimensions for a minute. So internally, the height is 200mm, the width is 340mm, and the depth is 245mm. And we have an internal storage capacity which is measured in litres like a fish tank, and this is 16 litres internal storage. For perspective, the size 2 has an internal storage capacity of 30 litres. The size 3 jumps up to 45 litres, and the size 4, the largest, jumps up to 68 litres of internal storage capacity. And the weight of the size 1 is 26 kilograms. The size 2 weighs 37 kilograms. Size 3 is 44 kilograms. And the size 4 is 62 kilograms. So routinely you just open the safe using your own 6-digit code that you reset. As I say, it's got a factory code of 6 ones, but you reset your own code to a code that you want to use. It's battery operated, and I'll show you where the batteries go. On the back of the door, you have this little box, and the 9-volt battery, ordinary 9-volt battery, lives in there. It's just restrained by that screw there to keep that cover closed. It does have some fail-safes built in, As you're opening the safe, as you tap your number in and you're opening the safe, if the battery's getting weak, this battery light will come on and it will tell you that the battery needs changing, so you need to get in there and change the battery. But what happens if the battery goes completely flat? There are two ways to get into this safe legitimately as the owner of the safe. If that happens, let's imagine you've come back to the safe and you've been away for a long time and the batteries were a bit weak and you didn't change them and now it won't open and it won't do anything. Well, you'll see you've got these terminals here, minus and plus, and you can actually power the circuitry externally using a 9-volt battery, ordinary 9-volt battery, same type that you see in most smoke alarms, and you'll see that those big and small terminals correspond, and it's just a case of holding it on there. I can't do it while I'm filming because I'm holding the camera in one hand, but you would hold it on there and with the other hand tap your code in. You still need to tap your code in even if the battery's completely flat, and the safe will open as normal, and then you swap your batteries out and you're good to go. We have another fail safe, which is another reason why we like this safe so much, and we've fitted so many of them for our clients. We're all very, very happy with them. Is what if you forget the code? You completely forget the code, you don't know what it is, you thought you'd written it down and you haven't. Well, it happens quite often, and they have thought of that, and you'll see that little E, that's actually a cover, that's a self-adhesive label, E for emergency, and the safe comes with these keys. So it comes with 2 keys and some spare self-adhesive labels in case you have to do that. A bit awkward to do again, but I've just peeled that off. So we take that off and set that to one side. It's just self-adhesive label. And we grab the keys, and that's a keyhole. And the key will go in there. A little bit awkward. And then we turn it, and the safe is now open. So if you had forgotten your code, you can now use the reset button, which on the size 1 is up the top there. Reset it, follow the instructions that we give you, set yourself a new code. And that's where the phrase a hybrid safe comes from, because you could simply choose just to use the key. If you wanted to use the key, you can leave the little E thing not there and just take it off, leave the keyhole visible and just use the key to open the safe as many times as you want to. That's up to you. For me, I think it's important, to recognise that when you're buying a safe, you're buying something that's roughly the same cost as a television or a washing machine or something like that. But the perception, and I've been selling them a long time, 30 years now, of the purchase of a safe is that it's going to last forever. We're only going to buy it once. And hopefully that's true, but why you might think that the safe would last longer than any other piece of consumer electronics, I'm not so sure. Things do have a finite lifespan. As I say, we've been selling these about 25 years now. We've never had one of these go wrong, ever go wrong. At the time of filming. However, if it did go wrong, then this really is much more of an investment than a safe that only has a keypad and doesn't have proper emergency keys like that. And I don't mean like locker keys, proper double-bitted keys, like I'm showing you here, rather than sort of locker type keys or tubular keys. Because if the worst happened and it packed up in 10 years time or something like that, and the electronics don't work, you've still got a usable safe because you can use it with the key. You can carry on using it. So these might cost maybe a little bit more, but to my mind, this is an investment rather than just buying a safe that might last a few years. As I say, they haven't gone wrong. We've never had one go wrong. They're very, very well made. But you do have the keys if it should ever go wrong. At this point in the video, I normally look at what will fit in the safe, sort of objects that you might want to keep in the safe. Let's start with A4 paper, and this is some A4 paper. I'm going to pop it in the safe, and that's those 4 or 5 sheets of paper sitting in the safe, and you can shut the safe no problem with the A4 paper in. The only thing is, you'll see if you are buying one of these when you come to check out that we've got some accessories. And one of the accessories, in fact, they'll be on this video as well, but one of the accessories is a fire retardant wallet. So you can put, because this isn't a fireproof safe, this is a burglary safe primarily. Burglary very common, fire very rare, fortunately. Not fortunate that burglary is common, but you see what I mean. And the fire retardant wallet won't fit inside this safe, but it will fit inside the size 2, so it'll fit in there no problem. So I've got a luxury watch type box here that we're going to pop in the safe now, and there it is under the shelf, and there it is on top of the shelf, and you get side by side 2 of those, but they all come in different sizes, these boxes, these watches rather. A camera, like an SLR type camera, would fit in here, no problem. You'd probably have to take the shelf out, which I've just done. iPads, yeah, old school iPads, new school iPads, they're all going to fit in there. There's not going to be a problem with those. As for laptops, iBooks, that sort of thing, no, they're not going to fit in the size 1. They're not going to fit in the size 2 either, really. Not because they wouldn't fit in the volume of the safe, it's the way that that door is designed. The door aperture isn't very big for security reasons, so it wouldn't be until you're looking at the size 3 or 4 for things like laptops. Yeah, so that's that. So we'll have a quick look at the accessories that we do now. I mean, that clip is filmed on a different day, not with these safes, but the principle is all the same. So hopefully you're going to buy a safe from us and we're going to come and install it for you. So during the checkout process, if you are doing that, and thank you if you are, there's a number of accessories that you can purchase. So the first one is a automatic light, battery operated, 3 AAA cells, and it's got a little movement sensor, and that pops onto the underside of the top of the safe, and as you open the safe the light comes on, illuminates the contents. Very useful for dark cupboards or wardrobes, things like that, so you can see what's going on in there. Then we have this, which is a flame retardant wallet, so you can put your A4 documents and bits and pieces in there for extra fire protection. We have a carpet base if you want a carpet in the bottom of your safe. As you see, they don't come with one. If you want one, then that's an optional extra. This is a pair of Faraday pouches for putting car keys in. Key cloning, theft of cars is very, very common now. You put your keys in here and the people with the dodgy equipment can't pick up the signal in the house to take your car away. And finally we have this dehumidifier box, which you can put inside the safe. It's reusable, you can dry it out on a radiator, absorbs moisture, protects things from condensation, because you can get condensation form inside a big steel box like that. Also useful for keeping firearms dry as well, and these are all recommended accessories for your safe that are available at checkout. And I guess in summary, that's the size 1 Bloomsbury 40K digital safe. It is the smallest in the range. There isn't an enormous amount of room in it. If you were asking me, I'd say go for the size 2. It's a little bit more money, but it's a lot bigger, and you've got the benefit of those 4 rear fixing holes and the 4 base fixing holes, whereas, as I mentioned, the size 1 only gets the 2 rear fixing holes and the 2 base fixing holes. If you've hung around this long, well done. I know these things aren't the most interesting videos out there. So we're londonsafes.co.uk. Get in touch if you've got any questions about how we're going to fit it, where we're going to fit it, where it might fit in your home or your business. Just ask us. It's free delivery and free installation, so whatever you see on the website, and there is a link to the products in the description of this video, that's the price you pay. There's nothing else to pay. That includes delivery and installation in an unmarked vehicle by a vetted employee of ours. And there's the area that we cover. I won't read them all out, it's too many. We're rated excellent on Trustpilot. Actually, if you go to Trustpilot right at the moment and type safes into Trustpilot, you'll find that we are the #1 rated company on Trustpilot at the moment. One more appeal, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. Apparently it helps rank these videos higher. I'm not an expert vlogger or anything like that. As you can tell, I'm a guy that does safes, but I'm trying to get the message out to as many people as possible. Thanks for watching. Now you're going to see a little jaunty cartoon about our service, and bye-bye.
Free delivery and free installation. Your safe will be delivered and professionally installed by one of our own vetted employees who will arrive in an unmarked vehicle. Get in touch online or call us on 0800 711 7892.